This is Show Up as a Leader, a show from PeopleForward Network, helping you maximize your positive impact on the world by becoming your best, fully authentic self. Hey everyone, it's Rosie. I am really jazzed to be adding my friend Claire Chandler to the lineup of great content on Show Up as a Leader. She is the founder of Talent Boost, and she just does incredible work on advising leaders on how to grow their business with intention, with purpose. And her new series that she's launching on the show is called Growth on Purpose. I've had her on as a guest a few times, cannot wait for her to bring her wisdom, her humor, and all that is Claire into this feed. She is going to be providing you with a framework and practical actions that you can lean on to be intentional with yourself, to be intentional with your teams, intentional with your business, and really building a sustainable ecosystem with your talent so that you're ultimately future-proofing your workplace. Take a listen. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Growth on Purpose podcast series, where we are replacing the head junk and self-imposed barriers to the growth of your company and getting real about how to expand your business without losing your best talent. I'm Claire Chandler, founder of Talent Boost and leadership therapist to world-class organizations and purpose-driven leaders around the world. If that sounds like you or someone you strive to become, consider this your much-needed therapy session. So for the next several minutes, I want you to block out any distractions, be fully present, and listen in. In last month's episode of this podcast, I talked about the fundamental shift we've been experiencing over the past few decades from the industrial economy to the intellectual economy. In today's intellectual economy, intangible assets, things like your brand, your services, your intellectual property and institutional knowledge, and your human capital overwhelmingly drive and dictate the value of your business. So leaders who want to win the talent game need to abandon the old command and control style and harness the power of their culture. We do that by bringing together the 3 Ps, people, process, and performance, around the nucleus of purpose. You remember the flashback to high school I gave you last time, the Venn diagram? When I took you through that, I showed you how we use purpose as the sweet spot in the middle, the filter through which we attract and retain people, design processes, and motivate and reward performance. Because when we do that, when purpose is the sweet spot and our filter, we build a stronger organizational culture. And businesses with stronger cultures outperform their competitors by a factor of 12. It is not even close. So it's important that we all as leaders and as purpose-driven organizations pay attention to this, because it is truly a differentiator in your business. I also shared last time at a very high level the 4-pillar framework for achieving growth on purpose. In case you forgot or haven't had a chance to listen to that episode, I'm not mad at you. It's all good. I want to just list them again really quick, because we are going to unpack these throughout the next several months. But those 4 pillars are aspiration, awareness, acceleration, and alignment. And yes, there's going to be a test on this. Remind me at the end of this episode to talk about that. Actually, you know what? Better yet, let's take care of that right now. I want you to pause this episode. It's only going to take you 5 minutes. Go to growthonpurpose.com/assessment and go take the free scorecard. It literally takes 5 minutes to complete it. You'll answer a series of yes/no questions, and you will instantly get your test results so that you will know how you're currently performing within each of these 4 pillars. Trust me when I tell you, everything I'm about to cover today and in our future episodes, month after month, are going to make even more sense if you apply it to your specific test results. So go ahead and pause this episode, take the 5-minute quiz. Again, it's at growthonpurpose.com/assessment, and come right back here with your scores. All right, cool. So over the next several months, I'm going to break down each pillar so you know the exact moves you need to make to implement them in your business. You're going to start to see how they stack together and build upon each other so you can once and for all expand your business without breaking what you've already built and without driving away your best talent in the process. All right, so enough context, enough homework assignment or pre-work assignment or scorecards and all of that. Let's jump in and get to work. In this month's episode, we're going to dive deep into the first pillar, which is known as aspiration. Today, I want to pull it apart so you clearly recognize the symptoms of not having this pillar in place, what that's costing your business, and what prospective employees are trying to tell you they need in order to join your cause and help you and your business grow. The next month in that episode, we're going to put this pillar back together, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to implement it in your organization. So grab your growth score, pay particular attention to your score in the aspiration pillar, and let's jump in. So I want you to think about how much fun it is to interview prospective candidates. I mean, just picture your calendar, jam-packed with back-to-back interviews. Fun, right? Yeah. Think about the time you're carving out in your schedule to review resumes, to make a list of questions to ask, to conduct the interview, only to realize within the first 2 minutes that they're not the right fit, but you feel compelled to carry on the conversation for a respectable length of time before you can wrap it up. I'm reminded of, okay, so I'm going to date myself for a second because that just gives me a flashback to that movie When Harry Met Sally. There's this scene in the movie when Harry and Sally are discussing the appropriate length of time that couples should cuddle in bed. I'll keep this PG. But Harry says something to Sally like, "You like to cuddle all night, right?" Yeah, see, that's your problem. Somewhere between 2 minutes and all night is your problem. And so for you as the interviewer, knowing that the candidate is just not the right fit, you've got to figure out how to cut it off somewhere between 2 minutes and that hour that you scheduled originally, right? And then, of course, comes your go-to wrap-up line, which, even when you know they're not the right candidate, is some variation of, "We'll be in touch with next steps." And so when I hear that, of course, I'm immediately taken to that Friends episode where Chandler goes out with Rachel's boss, finds her to be a horribly boring person, yet at the end of the night still reflexively says, "This was fun, we should do it again sometime." And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that you get so frustrated by interview after interview of so-so candidates that you ultimately break down and offer the job to one of them, if only to get your calendar back. Well, that doesn't work either, because the less suited your new hire is to the role, your team, your organization, the more time you now have to spend trying to give them every chance to succeed. So you schedule one-on-ones at such a frequency over their first 90 days that you end up spending more time with them than with your family or than with the rest of your team, who start to disengage because you clearly hired the wrong candidate in the first place, and they would have been better off compensating for the vacancy rather than working around the wrong fit colleague. And by the way, not only your team is disengaging, your family is probably starting to disengage too, because after day upon day of this, you arrive home each night with less hair, less patience, and less appetite. And eventually this cycle of pain continues until either you exit the wrong fit talent through the tedious and soul-crushing progressive discipline process, or your right fit talent leave you for an employer who doesn't hire the wrong people in the first place. And so your interview merry-go-round continues to spin. Are you crying yet? Listen, this is why you need leadership therapy. Don't worry, this is all part of the process. We have to go through the pain to get to the breakthrough. So just stay with me. You're suffering from what's known in leadership therapy circles as low attraction. The talent you need to bring into your organization is just not that into you. So few of those candidates, those right fit ones, find their way to your doorstep. And many of the ones who do end up ghosting you midway through the process. And that's fun too, right? That's why you keep finding yourself in the position of selecting a so-so candidate from among the ho-hum pile. And there's a cost to all of this. Not only the personal cost of your calendar that you will never get back, the hair that you will never get back, the family memories that you're missing. There's a cost of this low attraction on your business. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, the wrong hire can cost your company at least 30% of that individual's salary. So to get the right hire, You need to give the right people an irresistible reason to join by giving them a reason to believe. Now, that goes beyond just paying some slick marketing firm to craft a flowery set of mission, vision, and value statements. You, your fellow leaders, and your top talent all need to be singing from the same songbook. You need to be so dialed in to why your company exists, what it is in business to accomplish, that you can enthusiastically and consistently speak with conviction about what it's like to work there and the impact people can have if they join your cause. Let me be clear about this notion of conviction. This is the opposite of convincing, which is what most of you try to do when you meet a prospective candidate who just might be the one. Convincing is about trying to sell someone on why they should believe that your workplace culture actually delivers what your brand promises. But when you speak with conviction, you don't have to sell. All you have to do is be genuine and authentic and speak from your heart, because what you believe is so in alignment with your company's purpose that the right talent who also believe what you believe can't help but want to be part of it. Imagine having to make time for fewer interviews because every candidate you meet with is already geeked up about your organization's purpose and wants to show you how they can contribute to fulfilling it. Instead of sifting through stacks of resumes looking for the proverbial needle in a haystack, imagine a world where you get to curate the right talent from among can't-lose options and keep a community of other eager now candidates warm for the next available opportunity to be a member of your team, to be a part of your world. The way we get to this magical place in your business is by building out this first pillar, aspiration. Your employees and the right next group of hires need a reason to believe in your company. And the way that you fill that need is by creating a magnetic message that is so compelling, so genuine, and so in alignment with your purpose that the right talent will line up at your door, eager to work with you. I was speaking with a new client recently, and I had brought her a copy of my book so she could read it and get a better feel for what I believe and how I work and my unique, albeit quirky personality and my style. It's not for everybody, right? And by the end of the conversation, she said to me, "I don't even need to read your book. You're already in my head. Throughout this conversation we've been having, I keep thinking, she gets me." That's the exact emotion I want to evoke in all of my clients. And that's the emotion that you want to elicit in the right talent. That you see them, that you hear them, and that the workplace environment you can offer them and the mission you will pursue together is so in alignment, is so in sync with what they believe and are passionate about that they will knock down walls to join your team. If you're wondering how to draw out that emotion, how the heck you're going to figure out what to say so you can speak with conviction rather than try to convince, become magnetic to the right candidates and repel the wrong ones, and declutter your calendar from all the back-to-back interviews you've been suffering through, that's exactly why you're here consulting with your leadership therapist. I'm here to help you. After all, what's the use of going to therapy if it doesn't lead to a breakthrough, right? And I promised you we would get there. We're going to get to that breakthrough, and it's going to start next month. Next month, we're going to go deeper, and I'm going to take you through an exercise that will help you create consistent, compelling messaging that is so magnetic, it will increase your ability to attract, retain, motivate, and mobilize the right people throughout your organization. Not only that, it will also make it super easy for your existing top talent to refer your company to more people like them so that you can multiply your talent. So look forward to that conversation because you're going to learn how to bottle up the magic. That's all next time. For today, if you didn't already do it, your homework assignment is to go take that 5-minute quiz. Go to growthonpurpose.com/assessment, answer several yes/no questions, get your growth score. If you already did that, great, because before next month's episode, I want you to read through that report that I emailed you with your detailed results and personalized recommendations. If you do that, you will already be far ahead of your competition. For now, thanks for listening. And until next time, keep going, keep growing, and do it on purpose.
I'm Rosie Ward, and this is Show Up as a Leader. To learn more, head over to PeopleForwardNetwork.com and, of course, hit that follow button.